Hello everyone, welcome back. Winter time has arrived back. It's about 25 degrees. It's 12 this morning. And I'm feeding Levi's cattle. He's been in the bed with the flu for a week. I had to take him back to the doctor today. Got home late, that's why I'm doing this now. But been a pretty sick little boy, but hopefully he's on the mend now. But this is the video I was going to talk to you about, the 2018 Ram. I bought the truck, you know, as a personal truck and to be dual use, really and truly. I'm going to use the 07 as a farm vehicle and daily driver, whatever. But like I stated earlier, the biggest reason I bought now instead of waiting 2 years was to get the manual transmission. There's still a few of them around. I could have waited and maybe found one. But anyhow, that's why I bought the truck. Goodness. Hope I'm not coming down with the flu. But anyhow, when I went to buy the truck, I looked at financing it outright, and then I looked at leasing the truck. Now, I'm not talking about leasing it through Chrysler or anyone like that. The folks I was dealing with was Carolina Farm Credit, or Farm Credit. And I've worked with my local branch quite a bit, and guys are super good to me, work with me. They've helped me buy tractor and equipment. They do a lot of things for farmers that a lot of times access to capital is an issue for small farmers. Now, you can get carried away with it and get in a mess and all that good stuff, but sometimes if you're expanding an operation, trying to bump it up a little bit, it's good to have an influx of cash into it to do it. So, what I'm talking about here works for me. This is not what you should do. This is what works for me. Everybody's finances is a little different, and I'm not going to give away detailed information on mine, but I'm going to tell you an option that I came up with on this truck to make it a little more affordable at the end of the day. So I looked at financing it through Farm Credit, and I looked at leasing it for 5 or 6 years and then buying the truck out. Now, a lot of lending institutions with a cab and chassis, or a chassis cab, whatever you want to call it, they list that as a commercial vehicle. And a lot of lending institutions will not loan on them. Some private banks, credit unions, things like that may or may not loan on them. But anyhow, so I looked at financing the truck, and by the time I got done financing it, I would have had X amount of money in it. Now, the good thing about leasing through Farm Credit Leasing, if I lease the truck, say for 6 years, then I can buy the truck 5 or 6 years. They will give you the value of the truck up front. So in other words, and these are not the actual numbers, these are some numbers I'm using. If I lease the truck for 5 years, at the end of the 5 years, the truck's worth $10,000, according to them. Okay? I can then buy that truck for the $10,000 or turn it back in. They'll sell the truck. If it brings less than $10,000, I have to make up the difference. If it brings more than $10,000, they pay me the difference. Okay? There is no mileage restrictions on their leases. So, there's no mileage restrictions. They give you that value. If it's above or below, at the end of the day, that's the way it works. Which is a positive. Now, what I looked at is financing the truck. Then I looked at it for leasing it a certain period of time, then buying it out. And if I just done that, it was actually cheaper to do the lease and the buyout. With one, but there's another caveat to that. On a leased piece of equipment, you have better tax implications. So, at the end of the day, it was cheaper for me to do a split lease finance versus just a straight finance. And this was through Farm Credit Leasing. Like I said, Farm Credit has been very good to me. And they've been good to a lot of farmers in our area. I have heard it stated from old farmers many times, back when burley tobacco was primary cash crop in this area, 78, 79, and 80, 1978, 79, and 80, we had blue mold hit the burley tobacco. And a lot of farmers lost crops, entire crops. And I've had a lot of old farmers tell me if it hadn't been for Farm Credit, they'd went bankrupt. Now, with all that being said, I don't work for Farm Credit. They give me free hats. I do wear them. They are not paying me to make this video. They are not giving me any benefits to make this video. That is my honest take on it. If you're a farmer and need a tractor or something, you might want to look at that. It may work for you, it may not. But I'm just saying that that was an option, and it's an option I decided to take. It made the truck more affordable at the end of the day for me. Now, I plan on keeping the truck, unless it's just a piece of junk. I plan on keeping the truck, so I had to look at the whole thing. And I had the folks who do my taxes and stuff do all the numbers, and it works out quite significantly. I talked to the leasing officer today, and they said a lot of times only larger operations look at leasing. He said, but the savings are the same, large or small. And it may be something you want to look at. May not. I'm not a financial guru. I'm not an expert. But I just wanted to explain to you how I went about doing that. Now, with all that being said, 21 years ago this month, or last month, February, I bought the only new vehicle I'd ever bought. And I bought it at this same dealership, which once again, Buchanan Young Incorporated. I don't work for them. They're not paying me. They're good guys. I like them. I've had good experiences with them. Okay? They give me a really good deal on the 2018 Ram to start with, which made it even more digestible, if you will. But I bought a Dodge pickup in 1998, and I was just starting out, hadn't established credit, whatever, and Chrysler wouldn't finance it for me, and they just wouldn't finance it because, you know, I didn't have established credit or whatever. So I went to the credit union for the place I worked at, and they financed it. And I told the gentleman then I wasn't mean or rude. I said, but you know, they'll never get an opportunity to finance another one for me. And that's the way I am. And you know, that's just it. I am loyal to people who do me right, and I don't deal with people who don't. Now, I understand why Chrysler didn't finance the truck for me at that time, but I told the guy I wouldn't ever give him another opportunity, and I don't ever plan on it. Credit union I now work with messed up on the car loan for my wife 4 or 5 years ago. Cost me an extra $5,000. They will never get the opportunity to finance another vehicle for me. I had to pay it. It was just one of them deals. But with all that experience, I'll let you know on this lease. Looking at it on the numbers, having professional number people look at it, it should work out for me. But if it don't, I'll let you know. But when I do, you know, and I want to share that, because a lot of times, like I said, a farming operation, it's hard to get some capital. But every now and then, you know, there's still people that will do it, and if they're still willing to do it, do business with them if you can. Because if they go away, it's going to make it even more difficult on farmers. That's my opinion. That's my point of view. But I promised I'd do this video. I've done it. I wanted to let you guys know about that. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Hopefully we'll be back in the field before long. See a video you like, comment, question, whatever, please do so. I'm going to the house. My ears are getting cold. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.